22 years of running these, I never thought I'd be hosting 300 people virtually online. And that's how many people are joining us today. I'm so very grateful for all of you to be here. We're so grateful to the parents, to the grandparents, to the aunts, the uncles, the neighbors, all of the folks that are joining in. We have several different watch parties that are also going on tonight throughout the Chicagoland area. But we are, in fact, just truly living in the 21st century. Tonight, we're going to be streaming this through Facebook and through YouTube. If you have any problem with that platform, just simply go right to our website and click onto one of those two links, and you can go to the other. You can go to the other site. We also have silent auctions that are going on. We're hoping you'll pledge to partner with us in helping children with disabilities achieve their highest potential. We have raffles that are going on. So simply, again, just go to our website and sign on, or something even simpler, you can text 243-725, and then within the text box, type in CFI CE 2020, and you can register to bid pal. There's a lot of people that are joining us today. I'm so grateful, Valerie, over 300 people. Wonderful. There are comment boxes right there on YouTube and Facebook. So please come on in, say hi, and tell us why you're joining us. We have several of our staff and our therapists, conductors joining in there too, so you can chat with them while we're going. I have the very great pleasure of being joined by my dear friend tonight, Dr. Valerie Katouf. Valerie has been a board member at the center for over 9 years, become a very good friend of mine. She's chief of pediatric and binocular vision specialty at the Illinois College of Optometry. Valerie's a professor there, and she's also done several continuing education courses with our staff, because vision and cerebral palsy absolutely go together, vision health and cerebral palsy. So I'm so grateful to have you here tonight.
Thank you, Patty. It's truly an honor to be here. The center is such a special place and so special in my heart, just like it is to the families. But speaking on behalf of the board, I'd really like to take a moment to share how proud we are of the center's response to COVID-19. As you said earlier, you know, you can shut our doors, but you can't shut us down. And starting on March 16th, we were no longer able to show up to the center and provide the services that we need to our children. So at that point, we started providing free telehealth to all of our families. Our staff were on Zoom, they were on FaceTime with our families, providing that kind of service for them. They provided free telehealth therapy to more than 175 children. The center also loaned out vital equipment to these families so that the children could learn at home. They hosted a food drive for families in need, providing food and other necessities for more than 50 families who are struggling. We truly understand the emotional and financial burden that this crisis has had on so many families. This horrible pandemic is absolutely hitting families with disabilities harder than it does most families. The center's top priority is that children and young adults with disabilities remain healthy and active and can reach their full potential. The center has not and will not be charging families for the telehealth therapy throughout this crisis. All of you joining us tonight and making donations continue to make that possible. I join the board in saying how incredibly proud we are of the center's reopening on July 6th to in-person programming. We were able to bring our kids back. It took courage and bravery for the staff to move forward and reopen, and I'm so proud of the trust that our families placed in our staff. Reopening was certainly a challenge, but we knew we had to move forward because our children, they were regressing. They needed their services. Teletherapy filled a vital need that was a silver lining during these difficult times, but the children with disabilities, they were already isolated, and like typically developing children, they learn best when they're together, encouraging and motivating each other to push towards their goals. As a doctor, I'm especially proud of the center's strict but common sense oriented protocol that ensure the safety of the center's children and staff. And our board worked together with the protocols from the CDC and the IDPH. Some of our fellow board members, Dr. Jamie Gangaiko and Tracy Lewis, helped from their healthcare professions to establish those protocols. So the center's children are back. We feel the joy, we feel the pride, and we're so thankful to all of you who continue to make that possible through your donations and joining us tonight at this event. Thank you for making all of this a reality. We're truly grateful.
Thank you, Valerie. It wasn't an easy task, but as a reminder, our staff are healthcare providers, and this is what we do, and absolutely committed to the health of the children. I'm all of our sites have reopened. This is our Countryside location. We've been open since July 6th. Our Northwest program at Alpine Chapel is also open, and so is our program in Chicago located in Brighton Park. Our Southland groups continue to meet via Zoom. And Valerie, I'm really proud to tell you that almost 75% of our children have come back. 75% of our children and young adults have come back into our building safely with PPE, lots of disinfectant. When we were just reopening, a lot of folks said to me, Patty, are children going to be able to manage the mask? Are they going to be able to handle the mask, especially because they have a physical disability? And I can tell you with a resounding absolute yes, they are handling the mask. Children prove to us every day how resilient they are and that they want to be together. They learn best together. So they're doing incredibly well. All of you tonight are a big reason why we were able to provide free telehealth therapy. Your donations absolutely matter, and they kept us open and providing free telehealth. You also helped us reopen. I'm very proud of the fact that the center did not lay off a single staff person. We did not cut our programming down, and I'm absolutely committed to continuing that throughout this crisis until it ends, but you help us do that. So tonight, your pledge matters, the bidding on a silent auction matters, a raffle ticket matters, and also for those of you that are streaming in too, just a friendly reminder, our golf outing on September 25th isn't on. We are going forward with it. We're excited about it. We have places for golfers, so you can go on our website and sign up there. All of you should just take so much pride yourselves in helping us keep our doors open and reaching out to the children that we work with. We work with so many amazing kids. I'm so grateful to have them here. And right now, I have the great pleasure to introduce you to one of them, Abby Scott, and her incredible mom, Denise.
Come all the way back, grab onto the table.
Abby is 15 years old. She's our only child. She has cerebral palsy and was diagnosed with it at the age of 3.
Hi, Abby. I go to different minutes.
She started going to the Center for Independence right around when she was 2 years old. You do a lot of stretching, right? Walking, working on fine motor, working on skills for independence, like brushing your teeth, getting dressed, things that she'll need. Our goal has always been for her to be more independent, to be able to walk and express herself and just live up to her full potential. I've actually asked her if you could go like this, would you not have CP?
I go more.
She said no, it's part of what she is. So she really embraces it and doesn't want to change herself. She's always working to make herself better, but she's super confident, and I think a lot of it is because she has so many positive role models here with CP and without CP who empower her and let her know that she's perfect just how she is. They really have helped make her who she is, and I personally think she's a pretty great kid, so I wouldn't imagine her life without the Center for Independence.
She is perfect just how she is, and she's an incredibly great kid. And how fortunate we are, I am and our entire staff are, that we've been with her on this journey, and we watched her grow up into such a lovely, young, intelligent, smart young woman in high school with plans for moving on to college. Abby said something really, I think, that touches me personally as a mother of a child with a disability, is that she wouldn't take her cerebral palsy away. Yeah. And many of you know, too, my son Justin, of course, has CP, which is why Chuck and I started the center. And Justin says it to us often. He cerebral palsy is part of who he is. His disability is part of who he is. He doesn't want to take it away, but what he does want is to be included. Yeah. He wants to be able to make choices. He wants to be able to participate. He wants to be able to give back. And that self-assurance doesn't happen overnight. It takes hard work, and it takes a lot of determination. Denise, on that video, you heard Denise say when Abby is here, she's working on strength, she's working on movement, on fine and gross motor skills. She's working on those skills that she needs to be able to live independently. But just as important, and I believe, if not more so, Abby is working on an I can attitude while she is here. She is working on self-determination, self-assurance, and self-esteem, so that Abby knows that this is her life and she's in control of it. There's been a lot of research studies on self-determination, and self-determination is the biggest predictor of success in children with cerebral palsy, with physical disabilities. It's the biggest predictor of success
in anybody in life.
In anybody, right? Yeah. Self-determination is a bigger predictor of success than the ability to walk, to talk, to move. And that's what we're doing here. So if you were to come and visit our classroom, and our families know this so well, is that whenever we start an activity, and that's, I think, the beauty of conductive education, is it always starts with the I. So for example, we're working on sitting. I put my feet flat, I put them flat, I put them flat. My head is in the middle, and I am sitting tall. It's the I. It's not the we, it's not the facilitation of the therapist or the conductor. It's that I am in charge of my body and I'm learning it. And that's what I love about conductive education and the self-empowerment that it brings of all of our families. So right now I'm going to introduce you to another family, Beverly, and her incredible mom, Cheryl. And I think that you'll see the joy that comes through both of them and the absolute power of self-determination that they both have.
Show me your best walking ever. Can you do it all by yourself?
Beverly is very entertaining in the best way possible. She has always been sassy.
Nice work. Got it.
Beverly came to the Center for Independence in fall of 2018 to help treat her diagnosis of cerebral palsy.
Nice job, Bev. Okay, which one's next?
A lot of gross and fine motor skills and helping her to understand how her body conducts.
How about the green one?
As Beverly has gotten older, like what she's doing right now, these things she wasn't able to do.
One more.
With having a child with developmental or any type of special needs, you have to be a constant advocate and you cannot let anything fall to the wayside.
I think it might be.
They have been amazing as far as reaching out to her teachers, to any other doctors that need additional information as far as her home programs or her program services that they need here. When it comes to like battling insurance, claims, if they don't go through, they will submit and resubmit and resubmit, and it takes a lot of that burden off of me. I don't know where she'd be without the people here.
So Valerie, I love that Cheryl says Beverly is learning to conduct her body.
It's a powerful word.
It's a powerful word. So oftentimes people will say, well, Patty, what is conductive education? I don't understand conductive education. And here, Beverly's mom, Cheryl, who is a music therapist, put it so succinctly and so easily. Beverly is learning to conduct her body. And Cheryl understands this because Cheryl, as a music therapist, understands the relationship between music, movement, rhythm, and how our brain reacts to music. Yeah. And not only that, but that the person is in charge of their body. So the strength of rhythmic intention, again, is that children learn to solve their motor disability through tasks and through repeating that task and through song and through rhythm. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. And it's a really powerful statement that Cheryl made, Patty. And one of the other things I noticed that she said was how the center was there to support her and her family in the sense of handling insurance. So whether it's insurance submissions, insurance denials, you mentioned the types of services that we provide for our families and for our children here. Insurance is so complicated in this world, and to take that off of a parent's to-do list and handle the denials for them, it is such a gift. And I have to say, as a board member, we are so proud to say that what you have created here for the center and the families is that since 1998, you have capped all costs for therapy at $10 an hour. So for all these years, you have never charged a family more than $10 an hour for their services and giving them all of the services that they need. Through the years, you have shared with families $12 million of charitable funds. And with that, you shared that with over 600 families. It's such an impressive statistic. It is not the way that all organizations like this run. And we're so thankful to you. And we're so proud as a board to be able to give those things to our family. And it's your support that does that. So by calling the center with the number on the screen, by texting the number, going online and hitting the donate here button, you are making this all possible. And all of the hard work that Patty and her staff and everyone here put in, you make that happen. So we want to give you another highlight video here of the Independence song and seeing more of our children, more of our families, more of our stories.
I have a voice, so I am singing. La 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 la. I want to be more independent. Give me a chance, so let me try. I want to hold things in my own hands. I stretch my arms and reach up to the sky. I clap my hands, yes I can do it. Give me a chance, so let me try. I'm strong and tough and oh yes I believe that all I need is opportunity. I have so many gifts, oh what a joy it is to look into the mirror and see me. I sit up proudly, let me show you. I hold my head up so you see me smile. I stand on my own 2 feet, I'm so tall. Give me a chance and let me try. I'm strong and tough and oh yes I believe that all I need is opportunity. I have so many gifts, oh what a joy it is to look into the mirror and see me. I have a voice, so I am singing. La 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 la. I want to be more independent. Give me a chance, so let me try. Give me a chance, so let me.
How's that for a drop the mic moment? That's the best drop the mic moment I've ever seen. I hear that song and sometimes I still cry over that song. Josephine wrote that for us 14 years ago, and it's still absolutely relevant today. So as you saw in the video, children spend hours and hours and hours learning tasks that most of us take for granted. It could take hours, it could take days, it could take months, it could take years. And when they finally do accomplish that goal, which they do, lots and lots of celebrations here and at home and at school and at work. And we have just been so blessed to be able to share in so many celebrations over the last 22 years. We've witnessed first time sitting, first time eating, first time dressing, taking a shirt off, putting it back on, first time donning and doffing a shoe, first step, first time you rolled over. There's so many firsts, and we'll have lots of tears in the classroom too, and lots and lots of cheers. Over the 22 years, we've watched children graduate from high school, transition onto college, and over the last 5 years, we've been very blessed with our new program, Working Together Chicago. We've placed more than 85 young adults with disabilities in jobs throughout the Chicagoland area. And that's the whole cycle, isn't it? Is that children with disabilities have the potential and the ability within them to grow up and to become fully participating members of the community. So we're so grateful for our Working Together Chicago program. So you all make that possible. You make that possible tonight through your donation, through your pledges, through the silent auction, and then again through our raffle. So just as a friendly reminder, our raffle is going to be pulled at 6:50.
6:50.
Maybe just a little before then, because I heard I talk fast, so we're moving right along. It'll give you all more time to party later. But we're going to be pulling that about 6:50, maybe a little before then. And as I mentioned before, we have several watch parties going on now throughout the Chicagoland area. 12 families are hosting parties tonight, so thank you to our families for doing that in a very safe, social distancing way. We're very grateful to Van Lang Foods, who donated all of the hors d'oeuvres that are being served at tonight's parties, and to our one of our center moms, Sarah, who also made all of the desserts, and our staff that kind of delivered them to them. So I thought we would check in on one of those watch parties, Valerie.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead, Patty, and check in on the Olson family. We have one of our center children, Sam, his sister Audrey, and his parents. And look, we can see them all. And how are things going there, everybody? Tell us what's happening. Show us.
Hello, Sam. Hi, Audrey. Hi, Carl. Hi, Tracy, and all of their just wonderful, loving circle of family and friends. What are you guys doing?
Hello. Well, we're being shaded by our best Uncle Lance here and our, umbrella. I can't thank you guys enough in the center for all you've given to our family and to Sam, and how his face lights up when he gets there, and all the therapies that help him feel like you the man, because you are, right, Sam? Yeah. I don't know where we'd be without you. Literally, this was COVID, me pulling out the actual ladder and, doing the Zooms.
Well, I have to say, Tracy, my heart just goes out to all of those young families that are out there. Tracy and Carl, you guys are mom and dad. You're now teacher, therapist, speech therapist, nutritionist, doctor, nurse. You're all of it, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and that's what our staff is committed to, is trying to make it easier for you, because we know how overwhelming that this must be. I have grown children, and having to do what you guys do every day, my heart goes out to all of you, and how proud I am of all of you for having to endure just this unbelievable situation. So. Thank you.
We can see your joy. We can see your.
Thank you for everything the center does for our family. Thank you, everyone, for all your donations.
Oh, we love you guys.
She's gonna make us all cry.
We love you. Yeah. We love you, Sammy.
But thank
you.
Those are such real emotions, Patty. They're just. They really are real emotions. And, you mentioned your son, Justin, and so many of the adults, children who have gone through the center program and have gone on to college, who have gone on to employment, and have set that mentorship role for these beautiful young families. So what happens here? It's truly a magical place. And I really mean it. And it is hard. It's hard for us to hold back tears from people that we know and see each and every day. So as a board member, I do want to share that one of the things we are most proud of is that every dollar that is earned tonight Out of every dollar, 90% of that dollar will go back to the programs, will go back to the children. And you say, you know, how can that be? How can you run an organization like this with 90% of every dollar going back to the children? And honestly, the answer is because Patty runs a really tight ship here with such tremendous organization. You know, administrative costs are low. You rely on just an amazing volunteer structure. And much of our space is donated by wonderful charitable organizations. So with that, again, 90% of every dollar that you donate tonight, whether by text or calling or buying yourself a raffle ticket, whatever it is, you make the difference. You let us be there for families like the Olsen family and make a tremendous, tremendous difference in their life. One of the other points I wanted to point out as a board member is that the center board meets all 20 points on the Better Business Bureau's non-for-profit quality standards. And that's not typical. That is not something that happens in every organization. And you've done that for the past 10 years. And that just says everything about your leadership in the goals of the center, Patty. So the number one goal of the board, of the center, is to make sure that services are available and affordable for parents. No child, no family has ever been turned away for inability to pay. And with that, we want to introduce you to yet another inspiring, motivational, beautiful family. And we're going to introduce you to Mom Nicole, her beautiful daughter Ashlyn, and the rest of her family as well.
Lefty, yes, push and righty.
Ashlyn was born premature. She was born 31 weeks. And we found out when she was about 15 days old that she somehow suffered from a brain injury. We realized that this was going to be a lifelong diagnosis for us, and at 6 months old, she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
Can you hold on, please?
We decided that we wanted to give Ashlyn every opportunity possible and have every kind of resource to help her grow and thrive when it came to motor differences and difficulties, and she's been doing wonderful here.
Step, lefty steps.
And I have to say, those tiny little steps that she takes, like really just, you know, as a mother, you're just so proud. So everything they work on here, even the tiny, tiny little small things, are just so amazing to see.
And then we need to press it, I'm going to show you.
The pandemic has been very difficult to have a child that has motor difficulties like Ashlyn. Things kind of just came to a complete stop. Progress, strength, we saw her kind of regress a little bit, and that was really hard as parents to kind of feel so helpless. My husband is in dentistry, so when the pandemic hit, work stopped. And you're, as parents, faced with a lot of things that cost a lot of money. So for the center to not care about how much we can offer, I don't know that I could put into words how thankful we are for them.
Push it in, you can do it, press.
If I could see every single one of them and speak to every single one of them, I would let them know how much of a difference that their contribution really makes in the lives of families like mine. Thank you. I am so grateful for this place. This place has been a light in our journey. There's just so much heart here. There's so much love here. And that's what sets this place apart from anywhere we've ever been.
I'm so grateful to Chris and Nicole for sharing their story with us and for allowing us to come into their home and to talk about their struggle. And it's a reminder to all of us, and I don't think that it's known that well, is that middle-income families are struggling to access health care for their children with disabilities. And I think that all of us recognize even just how it's impacted our families over the last 10 years is that insurance company deductibles have skyrocketed over the last 5 years. And it's not, now it's very commonplace that the vast majority of deductibles and out-of-pocket family copays can be $10,000, $15,000. Something I think that most people also don't recognize is that the vast majority of children with physical disabilities have capitations on their health insurance plans for physical and occupational therapy. And most of them are about 30 visits a year. You're a doctor, you know this, Valerie. Yeah. Now, 30 visits of PT or OT a year for somebody that has a knee injury or hurt their elbow, that's going to work. 30 visits is going to work, hopefully. But if you have spastic quadriplegia, cerebral palsy, and you're 3 years old and you're trying to learn to walk, that's less than 2 visits a month That's less than 2 visits a month. That's not going to cut it. So middle income families are absolutely struggling. Another really horrible statistic, the CDC estimates that middle income families are spending almost $17,000 a year to cover the medical costs of their child with a physical disability. $17,000. That's a mortgage payment. So we have so many middle income families that are struggling in silence, trying to make ends meet, trying to pay their bills. And that's where the center's coming in, is that we are absolutely a safety net for low income families, but we are absolutely committed to being a safety net for our middle income families. And that's why we cap our program at $10 an hour, so that when those children do hit those caps, they don't have to go out the door. The $10. So when they're trying to make ends meet, and especially in a COVID environment like this, where Chris, who is a dentist, a doctor himself, and the impact that it's had on his family. So your kindness today makes this happen. Your kindness today, your donation today, allows us to keep our rate at $10 an hour, which I'm so incredibly proud of.
Should be so proud. Well, and one of the things, if you heard Nicole in the video say, like Patty just said, this COVID crisis, there's no one it hasn't touched. I always say it has tentacles. There's no one it hasn't touched. But you heard Nicole say that this place has heart and love. And it really is that heart and love that makes a difference in every family's life, in every child's life. So in order to support these families, we ask that you go on and donate, whether it's a donation. Don't forget about our wine cellar. Patty, tell us the details of that wine cellar.
So the wine cellar is usually a big cellar. We have over 85 bottles of wine. They're all rated 90 points or more. And I think the value of it's about $2,500. And it'll save you a lot of time and energy not having to look for it, because we will deliver it right to your home.
It's certainly a bargain. And again, the love and all those bottles came from donations from center families. So why don't we take a moment to see where we are? We've been, sharing so much information with you all about the center, but let's take a little thermometer check here and see where we are. Our goal tonight is $100,000 or more, and we are at about $55,000. So
great.
About halfway towards our goal. With each and every donation you make, we are so appreciative of your generosity and care, and we hope that you're as inspired as we are by these amazing families, the information that we're sharing with you, and just keep going onto that site, wine cellar, raffle tickets, donations. We are just, you are the people that allow us to keep doing what we're doing. And as a board member tonight, I'd like to take a moment to thank our volunteer board members. There's so many different talents and abilities in our board. We have healthcare workers, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have people in finance. We kind of cover the whole gamut there. But one of the things we're most proud of as a board is that 60% of our board member is made up of center families. And having board members that are center families really allows the goals of the center to be aligned towards the family's needs. And it ensures that the children in the families are getting the programming and the planning that they need. So with that, I'd like to introduce you to one of our dear board members, to Tracy Lewis and her amazing son, Brandon Scott. And we're going to check in with them at their party here. Hi, Tracy. Tracy's a nurse, and she understands all of the risks. It's been such a help to us through the protocol of developing COVID protocols. So hi, Tracy. Tell us what's going on at your house. Is that Tracy's daughter there? It's hard for us to see. So you have your family. Looks like you're kind of outside. I'm sure enjoying some food and fun. Can she hear? Yeah.
Hi there.
Thank you for your time with us, Tracy.
Tracy, a huge thank you to you for inviting us into your home, and a huge thank you to you for serving on the board for so long, and also being an inspiration to us and encouraging us as we were preparing to reopen, and to make sure that we reopened in accordance to CDC guidelines and the Illinois Department of Health. It was a big help to us. And Brandon, I see you.
I see Brandon.
Hello, Brandon. It's so fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate all that you've done for Brandon. We truly appreciate all the years of service, all the years of therapy that Brandon has received from the center.
Yeah.
We appreciate all you've done for us
Yeah,
too, Tracy.
it's been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure to have him here and to watch him grow up into such a fine man. It's so intelligent. Brandon actually has a beautiful, beautiful computer that he communicates through eye gaze, reads and talks and and uses his equipment throughout the day to be able to turn lights on and off. So it just shows where technology is bringing us as a community, and just how intelligent our young people with cerebral palsy are, and if they have access to the technology, how far they can go. So thanks for sharing it with us. Thanks for sharing your time with us.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming in tonight.
It was so much fun.
It is fun to see everybody.
So we have so many people to thank tonight, as Valerie had said, and I have a special thank you to several of our sponsors right now. A very special thank you to Bristol Design Group, the Community Bank of Western Springs, the Lyons Township Mental Health Commission, Joe and Nevis Rizza, and of course, our buddies here, Forever Ready, was Charlie Grant and Allison Wong, who I think you will all agree with me that they've done just such a beautiful job, and the videos are absolutely beautiful. So thank you, Forever Ready, and thank you, Allison and Charlie, for just the great job you're doing. I also have a very special thank you to the Lewis family, who's sponsored this event over the last several years in memory of their grandchild, Catherine Mary Lewis. So thank you for sharing your love of Catherine Mary with our children as well. It means a lot. Sponsors and donors like you make our program happen. Only a third of our budget is made up of program fees and insurance billing. That means that we have to raise almost 3/4 of our budget every year through fundraising, through grant writing, and through donations like you. So every donation absolutely matters. If I have 100 grandmothers give me $5, that means a lot to us. So every single dollar matters. So we appreciate it. Because you help us bring services to beautiful children like Felipe and his lovely mother, Karina. So I'm going to encourage you to watch this video, and I think you're going to enjoy it just as much as I did.
Go, Felipe, go. 1 and 2.
As a kid in a family with a disability, we know the first hand what being isolated means, social distance means, because we have it like on a daily basis. My name is Karina Aguilar, and this is Felipe Aguilar. He's been in the center for more than 7 years already. I have to say that the Center for Independence, the conductive education, has been a bless to my family, because Felipe is being treated as a person, as an individual. When the pandemic started, I was so pleased that they called us right away and start with the telehealth, and they did that regardless of our ability to pay for that service. It was so nice seeing them. They were giving instructions to him, and as a good mom, I went right away and, okay, Felipe needs to move his right arm. Okay, let's go help. And he rejected me like, no, like, tell me, I can do it, mommy, I can do it by myself. I was so proud of him, and I was so overjoyed. And they were there not only like 2 or 3 times a week. Also, they were asking us about how is the family doing, providing with some groceries or whatever we need.
Running.
When you find people like the Center for Independence team, you just feel like it's God giving you the opportunity for him to succeed and to be a better child. Thanks everybody, every sponsor, every person who made possible that Felipe has this assistance, because we wouldn't be able to pay.
So Patty, Just yet another beautiful story of one of our families. And you mentioned earlier the I can attitude. And I think Felipe and his mom certainly show us that I can attitude. And when I listened to that, I heard Karina and I heard her say how difficult this time has been. And we've mentioned already how this pandemic has isolated so many, but children with disabilities start out a bit more isolated than others as it is. So this has kind of made that an even more difficult situation for children and families. And how Karina showed, and we got to see on screen how your amazing staff delivered those telehealth services to just prevent as much regression in our children as we could and give the parents back a little bit of power to be able to help their kids along. And moms like Karina, my goodness, what would we do without them and the strength that they show? So, the center really helped families to move forward through this very difficult crisis. And we want you all to know out there that your donations for this, the only fundraiser that the center holds throughout the year, are so meaningful because 65% of our families are low-income families, and so many of them would not be able to afford these services. And we already talked about how the hourly rate is already capped at $10 per hour, and we are there for these families. No child is ever turned away for inability to pay, and we will deliver the services as we're able. So we are so proud of Felipe's I Can attitude, and we know that the center just, keeps that mindset here. And we're so grateful to you all for allowing us to keep going with our mission.
So Valerie did mention our program is $10 an hour, but for families living in low-income households, there is a sliding fee scale. And the vast majority of our children that live in poverty are paying $2 an hour for our program. And that's unbelievable. So $2 an hour for our program, but you help make that possible. So why don't we check out our thermometer and see where we are?
So it looks like, Patty, last time I checked, we were about 55,000, and now are we about 65? So, oh my goodness, you're all so powerful.
Thank you so
In just
much.
a few minutes,
Thank you so much.
Went up $10,000. So we're getting up towards that goal of $100,000. Don't forget to go on, do some shopping. Can I share, Patty, that Patty had me back there looking at those silent auction items? And I have to tell you, when you see them in person, you kind of want every single one of them. So take a look at those, bid on those. Patty, you mentioned that bikes are hard to come by in this COVID world.
We have
there's
two
a
bikes.
couple bikes there. So don't forget, I know I haven't been able to find any bikes. So that's something for you to definitely take a look at. So raffle tickets, we're moving right towards that.
We're moving right towards that. We'll probably be pulling it in about 5 minutes. So if you give us a call, buy one within the next 5 minutes. We are going to make sure we get it in that bucket. But again, just my heartfelt thanks for the donations. You make the program possible for children like Felipe, who absolutely faces extreme barriers because he lives in a low-income household. And there are limited therapists throughout the Chicagoland area that accept children on Medicaid. But you're also making it possible for children like Ashlyn, for children like Sammy. We serve 250 children here, and we are the safety net for all of them. So that's why that $2 matters. That's why the $10 amount matters. And that's why your donation matters. So thank you very much. I have to say that it's such a pleasure working with children with cerebral palsy. Kids with CP are kids first. They're children first, always. They're full of joy, wonder, humor, awe, curiosity.
Honesty.
Honesty.
Whether you want to hear it or
Speaking
not.
of honesty, if you want to know the true truth and a true honest answer, ask any child with CP. They're absolutely a pleasure to work with, and I have the best job in the world. We have the best staff in the world,
Certainly do.
and the best families in the world, and the best children in the world. And right now, I'm going to show you just a very small tidbit of what I get to do every day I go to work.
So just like you said, Patty, we got to share a little bit of what you get to experience each and every day with these amazing children. And I don't know if you even remember, Patty, but years and years ago, you shared with me a story, or just the idea that most of these kids, when they go to school on a daily basis, they are likely to be the only child in their class with cerebral palsy. So when they come here to the center and develop this incredible peer group, they get to see somebody who maybe is better than them at something, and then they get to be better than someone else at something. And that motivation and that drive and that mentorship means everything. And we see that in any aspect
Absolutely.
of life. So it's so important to these
Yes.
children. So again, all of your donations that you're making tonight are getting us towards that. So let's take one more thermometer check and see where we are. And we're around that, oh gosh, even higher than we were.
Wow.
So around that 60,
Almost 67,000. We could get over there.
Yeah.
Well, it is time.
Let's do it.
It is it's a little after 6:50, so we better get doing it. So I think we have a couple raffles to stick in there, right? And Samantha's over on the side going, they have one more to stick in there.
Okay.
So Sam, why don't you come on in, put them in the bucket. Sam's going to put them in the bucket and start spinning. And I believe that she has one more. So we just heard the phone ring, so we're gonna
We'll take those last minute.
So we are going to take that last minute raffle right now, and you can spin it, spin it, spin it. So Valerie,
Okay, I'll move on over.
they missed it. All right. So just a reminder. This is a huge thank you to Joe and Nevis Rizza. Oh, wait, somebody's running in.
It's all right, we'll move slowly.
To Nevis and Joe Rizza, who sponsored our raffle for the last 20 years. Incredibly generous people. And just as a reminder too, Joe and Nevis host our Christmas party every year at the Old Italian American Club.
It is possibly the most magical day of the year, every year.
It
Truly.
is. It's our favorite day of the year. So
It is.
I am keeping my fingers crossed that we are all together again for Christmas at the
Possible.
Italian American Club. And then as a reminder too, Dr. Katouf has hosted our Mom and Dad's Day Out twice a year, every year for the last 10 years, Valerie.
Oh, don't you think those moms and dads are just waiting for us to put that date on the calendar?
I think those moms and dads are ready for a day of rest.
And for those of you who don't know, it's a day where parents can drop off all their kids. So whether their kids attend the center or not, we take all of their kids. I bring volunteers that are students from the Illinois College of Optometry. And again, two of the most fun days of the year. We do projects, we have magicians, we sing songs, and we give the parents a very needed day of rest.
Yep. So that's great. All right, we are spinning.
We're spinning.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is for, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Wait. Little more spinning. Little more spinning.
All right.
Okay,
Now we
spin
have
it
to
up.
really spin it up, twist it around, turn it around. So I love this. These last minute people, we are grateful to have it. Okay, we're going to give a super spin here.
And which prize are we picking first, Patty?
So we are picking the first prize, the $10,000 winner is going to be first.
I have friends and family in here. Who knows?
Just as a reminder, if we haven't sold all of the raffle tickets, we will be giving out whatever that percentage is. But I know that we've sold more than last year.
Yeah.
So we're really grateful for that. Yeah. So without further ado, the $10,000 winner.
John Thomas.
John Thomas. Oh my God, that is so wonderful.
Goodness,
Good for
that's
John
amazing.
Thomas.
Go, John
So
Thomas.
deserving. All right, the next one, our $5,000 winner. Go ahead, Valerie.
Okay. My goodness, having a hard time getting one.
Okay, Mr. Jim Dodaro. Jim Dodaro, Dodaro. It's beautiful.
Okay.
All right, 25. Okay.
We have three more.
Yep, $2,500.
We'll take it. Denise and Bob Scott.
Denise and Bob Scott. That Abby was on our video. That is wonderful. That's fantastic. Okay, another spin around. Then we're going to do the $1,000 one. Congratulations. We know that Denise and Bob and John are watching.
Family members.
They must be screaming in their living rooms right now.
Sure. Let's go in the middle here. Jeff
Diamond. Jeff Diamond, $1,000. All right, last one,
Oh,
$500.
I don't want it to be over. Todd Seachy.
And Todd Chucky.
I know
Todd
that.
Chucky. She knows it. Todd Chucky, $500. It's so wonderful. Congratulations to all of you. And just our heartfelt thanks for joining us tonight. The center this year is going to serve 250 children with physical disabilities. You make that possible. You make our $2 possible. You make our $10 an hour possible. You make it affordable and break down those barriers to service.
It really is incredible. So let's take one final look at our thermometer and see how high we are. So we are past the $67,000 mark, and we just want to share our appreciation and gratitude for each and every person that is with us tonight and making donations. Know that the site is going to stay open. You can still continue to bid on those silent raffle items through tomorrow. You can continue to make donations through the site through tomorrow. You have the center's number if you choose to make donations after that, or of course the web page, Facebook pages, all those things. So we are here tonight to celebrate the fact that no child is turned away from the Center for Independence for inability to pay. And it is your support. Without it, it wouldn't happen. And it is Patty and her staff and Chuck and everyone else here that just does the most amazing job. And I have to go back to those words that this place has heart and this place has love. And that's what makes it different and special and truly, truly successful. So that hard work, that I can do attitude, we just can't speak enough on it. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I'll let Patty go ahead and finish things.
Thank you again from our hearts to yours. And we look forward to being back in together again in person, and we can hug you properly. And a huge thank you from all of us.
And we're still here for the golf outing.
We are still here for the golf outing. The golf outing is September 25th, and just access our website to sign up for it. And we look forward, and we will see you in person there. So thank you so much again.
And we thank you all, and we thank the sponsors. And we're good today. Oh, wait, we want to say that John Thomas, our $10,000 raffle winner, he donated the money back to the center. So he is an amazing person.
John, you're amazing.
Longtime family friend.
And a board member. John is one of our board members. So thank you for donating your prize money back, John. You're an amazing man. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone that gave tonight and for helping so many children on their journey to independence. You absolutely matter and make a difference to all of us.
And thank you, families, for sharing your stories and for being there with us tonight. So
thank you and good night.
Love to you all.